I had a panic attack on national U.S. television in 2004. It was on one of our morning chat shows, morning news chat shows called Good Morning America, which is really a big show in America. And my role that morning was to fill in and be what's called the news reader. So my job was to come on and read these headlines, and I had done the job many times before, so I didn't actually have any reason to foresee what was about to happen. But a couple of seconds into my shtick, I was supposed to read six or seven stories off of the teleprompter, and boom, Bob's your uncle. It was supposed to be done, but what happened was a couple of seconds into it, I was just overtaken by this irresistible bolt of fear. My mind was racing, my heart was racing, my palms were sweating, my mouth dried up, my lungs seized up. I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't go on. And I soldiered through for a little bit, but then I knew I was cooked, and I just quit right in the middle, and I had to send it back to the main hosts of the show. And it was very embarrassing and very scary. And I don't want to tell the whole story because it would take up the whole podcast. But in a weird and winding way, it is what led me to finding the thing that made me 10% happier. If I wrote a book that used the word fuck a lot and also was brutally honest and sarcastic, and also was written from the perspective of a type A ambitious person, that might make the practice that I had found deeply useful attractive to tens of millions of people who otherwise would reject it reflexively.
Exactly.
So the reason why I'm so honest is that I think the only way to really convince people to do this is to put all the cards on the table and to show how it can work in the mind of somebody relatable. So instead of exhortation, I was trying to engage in demonstration. So I tell the story of me as basically an asshole who is, mindlessly doing things like going to war zones without thinking about the consequences, getting depressed, and being insufficiently self-aware to know it, and then self-medicating. And take that guy, and also a super ambitious guy, and show what can happen when you introduce this kind of a different kind of self-medication or a different kind of self-care, which is meditation, and what happens in the mind of that person. And I wanted to, I'm a storyteller by training, and I wanted to tell that story in a really open, honest way, very down to earth. After doing this for 4 or 5 days, I just all of a sudden found myself, something clicked. As I say in the book, it was like I had felt like I was being dragged by a motorboat by my head underwater for 4 or 5 days, just like completely confused and frustrated and tired. And then all of a sudden I got up on water skis, and I was just like right there with everything that was happening. I was an experience of my mind where like every sight, every sound, every itch in my knee, wow. I was just right there for it all. And I realized that there is a kind of happiness that I didn't know was available.